2020 is a shit year. Another year in which it seems none of the major issues in the world are solved. Another year that society is even more divided. Oh, and the pandemic. That's the thing too. A lot of people could say that this year was a bad year. For me, this year was especially bad. Let me preface this by saying that life experiences are all relative. What happens to one person is a different experience from another. I don't think that I had the worst year of every living person. But with that said, it has been a year of great expectations, a plan to grow as a person, and the fallout of living during a pandemic. A little background on me before I go forward. Growing up, I've always been an outgoing person. I've never had a hard time making friends, no matter where I was. I was also pretty awesome at doing most things. Not the best, but pretty damn good. I was always active and in shape, as well as in a high supply of friends. As I got older and went into high school, I had a warped perception on how relationships worked. While my personal friendships were okay, romantic relationships were not. Long story short, I became too invested, and when the relationships inevitably failed, I took it to heart. I think this is where my anxiety began. In the years to come, I started to develop self-esteem issues. I didn't think I was very good at anything and didn't focus on anything that I wasn't good at. At this point in my life, I was in my first to second year of college. I had already stopped doing the things I was doing earlier on in my life, like martial arts and gymnastics. I started becoming more sedentary, never learned how to eat a balanced diet. You could see where this is going. College didn't work for me. Almost entirely my fault, mind you. Around a year after I had dropped out, the relationship I was in ended while I was overseas. Throughout the last year of the 3-year relationship, I was flooded with anxious thoughts and self-image issues. From here, my anxiety spiraled into a deep depression. I was a shell of the person I once was. I hated myself. I shuffled through every day with my brain telling myself that I'm not worth it. Anyone who saw me could see it. I almost lost my job over it. It was that bad. And to anyone I worked around, I wasn't at my best, and I'm sorry. Somewhere around 2016 to 2017, I started to see a therapist. It was extremely helpful, and it helped me let go of the past and help get me out of a dark place. And now on to 2020. At the end of 2019, I had made a plan for this year. Save up to move out, get back in shape, eat healthier, work towards content creation. In the first couple months of 2020, everything was going great. I had lost around 30 pounds and was 10 to 20 pounds away from my target weight. I was at the gym daily doing at least 30 minutes of cardio and some weight training before work. I was also monitoring what I was eating and learning how to make smarter choices when it came to diet. I wasn't progressing too much on streaming and video making, but I was making a plan and changes to my process. Then, in March, my city had closed down due to the pandemic. In the time since, my mental state had started to regress. As of recording this, we're 8 to 9 months into the pandemic, and along the way, I lost my full-time job and benefits. Now, without health insurance and income uncertainty, I'm dealing with the stress and uncertainty of life. The biggest stress of this year is worrying about getting sick. On top of that, the savings that I worked on building up is starting to dwindle. My living space seems to get smaller and smaller. I've gained a lot of the weight back, and my mental state has started to deteriorate. My self-esteem started to fade, the doubt and anxiety coming back. My brain went into shutdown mode. The only time my brain has been firing is when it was telling me that I'll never accomplish anything. It put me in a position where I was starting to believe it. It made me lose all motivation and energy. Once again, I was just sifting through the fabric of time. It's frustrating, having been working towards goals so much, only to have to start from step one after a series of negative life events. There are a number of things that I can blame, but at the end of the day, I need to hold myself accountable. I'm the only one that can figure out how I'm doing financially. I'm the only one that needs to get back to working out daily. I'm the one that needs to get my own ass to stop dicking around and put the effort and creative energy into the goal that I'm working towards. As for right now, it's the productivity aspect of getting things done that's getting me through. All in all, 2020 has not been kind to most. What I'm taking away from it is making sure that I'm the one doing everything I need to do. Nothing will be perfect. Not everything will go the way I hope it will. One thing I do know is I need to start enjoying what I'm doing. It was one of those things that I just needed to say and not really care about what anyone thinks about it. But also, it's a stepping stone for me holding myself accountable and producing content. So I'm not going to ask everyone how this year's going for them. But if you've reached the point in this video, tell me down below what it is that you're working towards and what have you done to reach these goals. I'd be glad to hear it. Thanks for listening. Bye.